Hello, I'm Sam Kavathas with the Illinois State Bar Association, and this is Illinois Law. Our topic for this segment is, what are the phases of a personal injury lawsuit that doesn't settle? My guest is Ron Kalish. Ron is a partner in the law firm of Steinberg, Goodman, and Kalish. He specializes and been practicing for over 20 years in the personal injury field and also handles medical negligence cases. Ron is also a member of the Illinois State Bar Association Tort Committee. Welcome, Ron.
Thank you.
If a lawsuit doesn't, or a claim doesn't settle, and parties have to file a lawsuit, let's tell the viewers the phases of a lawsuit, what happens from the start of a lawsuit to the trial.
Well, the first step is the filing of a complaint and having that complaint served or handed to the person you're suing.
And where's the complaint usually filed?
Complaint is filed usually in the place in the county where the crash occurred or where the person who you're suing lives.
And then after you file suit and people are served, what happens the first step of the case?
First step of the case is the exchange of written information. It's called discovery, written discovery. And that's a chance for each side to know what the other person's medical bills may be, if it's an injury case, documents you have, pictures you have, any statements you have of the other person. It's sort of an exchange of information.
And is the attorneys handling this in court? Does the client have to come in? Where is this taking place at this beginning thing starts?
This happens through the mail. Usually the client doesn't need to be in with the lawyer. Depends, every case is different, but usually that can be done through the mail.
And then after this written exchange is done, what's the next phase that's done? After
the exchange of written information, each lawyer will have a chance to ask questions of the other witnesses and parties to the lawsuit, the plaintiff and the defendant first, and any witnesses. It's called depositions, and they're under oath statements that you make, and there's a court reporter that takes down everything that's said.
And where does that take place usually?
That will take place at one of the lawyer's offices.
And after that phase is done and all the oral discovery is done, what happens next?
After the oral discovery is done, there will be a chance for the depositions of the doctors that were involved in the care and treatment of your injury. And those are called treating depositions.
And then once that's completed, what's the final step?
The next step is if there are experts that are needed in the case, if it's a specialized issue that experts need to talk about, those experts will be disclosed, and then they will also give those depositions.
And once all that is completed, what is done next?
Usually there's a process after that period ends where the parties may engage in settlement discussions, either involving the judge, or sometimes there are private entities, private companies that have retired judges that serve and act as mediators to try and see if the case can be settled.
Does the client usually participate in those?
Yes. It's important to have the clients there and present and participate in the process. Sometimes they're asked questions, and it's a good opportunity for the clients to really hear everything that there is to know about their own case.
And if that's not resolved, doesn't resolve the case, what's the final phase?
The final phase is trial, and that's when you are coming to the courthouse. Of course, there's time that you'll spend preparing with your lawyer in advance of the start of the trial, but the trial process takes place in the county where the lawsuit was filed.
And how long does it take usually from the start of a filing of a lawsuit till you get to a jury trial?
It depends on what county you're in. Counties like Cook County are very crowded, a lot of cases on the call, and it can take a few years. It depends on how long it takes to process the case. In other counties where there's less volume, you might be able to get to a trial within a year.
Ron, thanks very much, and thank you very much for watching. This was Sam Kavathas with the Illinois State Bar Association of Illinois Law.